Hello, welcome, and this is Dr. John Lokomona introducing the Functional Skill Level 2 English. And I'll be going through the standard materials, the actual content for your course. And this has been obtained from the Department of Education, from the government website in the United Kingdom, where we actually run these functional skills. In the level 1 introduction, I mentioned that this functional skill fast track at Westminster Open College has been designed for those who in their previous lives they actually had some form of grounding in English. Some of them passed their GCSEs, some did pass their O levels and other certifications which are equivalent to level 2 and above. But unfortunately, they do not have any evidence of it whatsoever. It's either paperwork had been lost because of travel, or as the case might be. When they try to go to university and enroll on a course, they do not have evidence to show that they actually passed the English. A mere verbal explanation won't help. So this course has been designed for those people. On the other hand, if you have never had any English experience, but you're a fast learner, maybe you already have a higher degree in any other subject. For example, you come from a francophone country, but you have got grey matter to learn any language afresh, and you think you're at a level where you can grasp. This course is for you. Give it a try. It runs minimum 3 months. That is to say, if you fall in the category of those people who've already had English grounding, because there's quite a few things to learn on the functional skill English level 2. Now let me just quickly take you through the breakdown. This handout, if you've already got a login, you should download it. It is actually the latest we have. Let me take you to the top cover so you know the information that we have. It is the Department for Education, available on the local authority, and it is the subject content, function skills, English. And this is for the United Kingdom. The latest is February 2018, and this is the very latest because we are in 2019. So you are in safe hands. Now let me go straight to the content. We are not concentrating on the entry levels. This is not our focus at WMOC. Our focus is functional skills English level 1 and level 2. Level 1 has already been introduced in the previous video. I encourage you to go and listen to that as well if you haven't done so. This document sets out the purpose, learning aims and outcomes, and subject content for functional skills English at entry level 1 and level 2. The entry levels, we are not concentrating on them at WMOC. We are focusing on level 1 and level 2. And in level 1 introduction video, we have gone through all this introduction. But let me allude to you here this paragraph. Speaking, listening, and communicating with functional skills English qualification is non-written communication, normally conducted face-to-face. You understand this one? And it can also include virtual communication methods such as telephone or spoken, web-based technologies. The terms speaking, listening, and communicating are intended to be interpreted in a broad, inclusive way and are not intended to create any unnecessary barriers to students with speech or hearing impairments. So the design of the program is all inclusive. It means the equal opportunities. So you have no disadvantage in terms of the requirements. in our center. If at all you need any other peripherals to be able to help you do this, we must declare this to the examination center, and they can allow certain leeways to be able to include. If it's extra equipment that's required, or as the case might be, just bring your statement regarding your needs. That's very important. Now, let me go straight into the content of of level 2 English. Speaking and listening. I'll take you straight to this document. Where are we now? Speaking and listening. Level 1, we've done it. We're going to level 2. Subject content for level 2. Yes, subject content for level 2. Speaking, listening, and communicating. That is our major interest here. So, the text, this should include extended narratives and information. Information may be on technical, concrete, or abstract topics. Discussions, detailed explanations, and presentations, all of varying lengths. This is very important. The preamble is very important. It's setting a scene on how, where we should lay our focus and what we're going to learn in this part of the functional skills level 2. It's slightly harder than level 1. What are the key criteria? Number 1, let's look at the scope of study. This, the scope of study, if I bring it up over here, this should include extended narratives and information. Information may be on technical, concrete, or abstract topics, discussions, detailed explanations, and presentations, all of varying lengths. I've read that twice. Now we're going to identify relevant information from extended explanations or presentations. Follow narratives and lines of argument. It's very important when you are using this handout, you discover that at the end of the last few pages, on page 17 to 21, there's a glossary of words, what these things were. For example, if they said narrative, let me see, narratives, you go to the next page, look for the word narrative. It says describes. Narrative describes text that retells events, often in chronological sequence. So the meanings of these terms are in the handout. I encourage you, I'll just bring up myself on the screen here. I encourage you to make sure you download this handout. It's right on the e-learning. We do not invent our own materials for this. They've already been determined by the Department of Education. So you have to have this document, download it and follow it through. Okay, let's proceed. So we're going to look at number 4. So number 4 there. Make requests and ask detailed and pertinent questions to obtain specific information in a range of contexts. One context could be a discussion or a presentation, or as a case might be, could be a written activity that you conduct, you carry out. Number 5, communicate information, ideas, and opinions. We are looking at number 5. And opinions clearly and effectively, providing further detail and development if required. Express opinions and arguments and support them with relevant and persuasive evidence. You see here, you're going to communicate information, ideas, and opinions clearly and effectively, providing further detail and development if required. In number 5, you're going to express opinions. Your opinion, maybe, or other people's opinions, and arguments, and support them with relevant and persuasive evidence. You also learn the language to use when persuading somebody. Number 7, you're going to use language that is effective, accurate, and appropriate to context and situation. When we say effective, let me use an example of communication. If your communication is effective, there will be a response. If your communication is not effective, nobody is going to respond because they didn't hear you or understand what you're saying. That's very critical. Number 8, make relevant and constructive contributions to move discussion forward. Very important. I can give an example of a discussion that is taking place, a roundtable discussion. There's a topic, a hot topic. Let's talk about the importance of education in a society. So there is no moderator, but you're talking in a team. You must contribute and you must bring out constructive ideas to move the subject forward. If you see that there's almost a stalemate on one point, why don't you extract some information out of that discussion and bring up a new point that to provoke discussion at the next level. That's very important. Number 9, you're going to adapt contributions to discussions. You're going to adapt contributions to discussions to suit audience, purpose, and medium. Now, this pretty much similar to level 1, but the complexity and depth at which you do this at level 2 is deeper than level 1. You're also going to interject and redirect discussion using appropriate language and register. And as I said, all these terminologies or the words, vocabulary used, there is a glossary of words and what they mean. Registers, this is a variety of language selected for use in a specified, I'll bring myself up as I explain this point. Registers, a register, this is a variety of language selected for use in a specific social situation. In particular, the register differentiates formal from informal use of language. The register differentiates formal from informal use of language. We normally say that every discipline has got jargon. If you hear the word empirical, you say, oh, what does it mean? Oh, I want to have an empirical evidence. Oh, there's an empirical formula. So all these things have got their own context. Oh, guys, I think it's getting late. Zip up a lip. Oh, zip up a lip. That's informal usage of language. In one of the contexts, some people understand what it means in England. Yeah? So we're going to learn a lot of things on this course. We have just done the scope of study in speaking, listening, and communicating. So these types of performance indicators will be looked for in your work as you learn English at Functional Skills Level 2. The criteria to meet comes from all these points under the speaking, listening, and communicating. Then at Functional Skills Level 2, there's also the component of reading. What is the scope of study? This should include a range of straightforward and complex texts on a range of topics and of varying lengths that instruct, describe, explain, and persuade. Very important. So this is the scope of study. But what are you looking to use as a benchmark? Number 11, it says identify the different situations when the main points are sufficient and when it is important to have specific details. Compare information, ideas, and opinions in different texts, including how they are conveyed. Very important. Some of the tutors will bring some good examples to illustrate this during lesson time. Identify implicity and inferred meaning in texts. Very interesting. Language is so sweet when you understand how it's used and its construct. 14. Understand the relationship between textual features and devices and how they can be used to shape meaning for different audiences and purposes. Very important, especially if you're writing for children. You're going to use different styles and the texture as well, and you also use devices. For adults, it's also different. Number 13, where am I? Number 15, use a range of materials and appropriate resources, e.g. glossaries. A very good example, you've got the glossaries in your own handout. Legends, keys. If you're going to be using tables or graphs, you must define those ones by using legends or keys, or both, for different purposes, including to find the meanings of words in a straightforward and complex sources. Number 16, identify organizational features and use them to locate relevant information in a range of straightforward and complex sources. See, functional skill actually is a very, very good program in the sense that it gives you more skills than than the language itself. You find that these skills are generic and they can be used in different disciplines, because English is a language, and communicating for example, if your main qualification is science or science, and particularly chemistry or biology, to present your biological information or chemistry, you're going to have to use the skills you learn from here. I'll use images, I'll use texts, how you present certain types of text, and how you format it to emphasize the information you actually are referring to. This is very important, which means functional skills are quite essential. No wonder they use the word functional. Once you learn this English, you should be able to function in your job role. Okay, or even socially. Let's go back to we were number 17. Yeah, oh, we've done that one. Yes, number 17. Analyze texts of different levels of complexity, recognizing the use of vocabulary and identifying levels of formality and bias. A range of skills. We will look at this all from number 11 to 17. Let me check here. No, to 18. This 18. Follow an argument, identifying different points of view and distinguishing fact from opinion. Very important. Distinguishing fact from opinion. Identifying different styles of writing and writer's voice. Okay, so we look at this functional skill and reading. The way you're gonna learn how to read will be teasing out skills based on the criteria from 11 to 19. When you read a piece of writing, can you identify different styles of writing and writer's voice? Can you follow an argument, identifying different points of view and distinguishing facts from opinion within the text? If you're reading an article in the newspaper, can you be able to identify the different situations when the main points are sufficient and when it is important to have specific details, and so forth? So, although many people would think that, oh, I know English, I've learned English, when I come to you and I give you a piece of article to read, analyze it, would you tease out all those things that we've just talked about? Do you have those skills? Here on Functional Skills, we're going to teach you that. And for you to be a very good student, make sure you download the materials, buy the books that we recommend to you in the classroom or online as we talk to you. This is just like a classroom, except that it's one where you can't ask me live on this video, but you can email me or email your tutor. Follow those books. Follow the illustrations, the mock examinations that we give you. You become better at learning English at this stage. Thank you. Let me go and finish off the next part, which is writing. In writing, functional skills, we have the scope of study. This should include straightforward and complex texts, such as articles, narrative, explanations, and reports of varying lengths. Sometimes will be 500 words, sometimes 1,000, sometimes even 200 words. But it must convey the meaning of what's required within those set words, number of words, okay? Once the parameter is set, follow it through. Now, the key points are such that you must spell things correctly, spellings, punctuation, and grammar. Sentences must make sense. When you are writing something, and under the scope of writing, when you are writing something, the sentences must make sense. Spellings, punctuations, and grammar. A punctuation, I give an example in level 1, a punctuation that is missed on a certain point can change the total meaning of the sentence. For example, I use the same one. Let's eat, Dad! That's the sentence 1. Sentence number 2. Let's eat, Dad! Which one? Both of them are correct, but the meanings are different. I'd like you to work it out. Okay, let's proceed. You are going to punctuate, writing correctly using a wide range of punctuation marks, e.g., this colon, commas, inverted commas, apostrophes, and quotation marks. They all convey, I beg your pardon, different meanings as you use them in different places. You're going to use correct grammar, e.g., subject, verb, agreement, consistent use of a range of tenses, definite and indefinite articles, and and modality devices, e.g., to express probability or desirability. Oh, beautiful scheme. And then you're going to spell words used in work, study, and daily life. Words used in work are formal, study, very formal, daily life, maybe informal. There's a colloquialism as well there, including a range of specialist words. Specialist word. There are some words which are specialist word and they fit only in that context. It also covers jargon, because every discipline has got jargon. One word which you use loosely I would say, let me use it. If I say nomenclature, so what's that? That's a jargon word used in chemistry, in particular organic chemistry, meaning how to name organic compounds. Nomenclature. Hey, it sounds a strange word, but yes, it does exist in chemistry, organic chemistry. So that's jargon. So you're going to be looking at such kind of things as you also develop your own write-up. That is on spelling, punctuation, and grammar. Then writing composition, still under writing, where we have the scope of study, spelling, punctuation, and grammar. We have writing composition. What are the criteria? Communicate information, ideas, and opinions clearly, coherently, and effectively. In fact, a good practice when you're learning, if you've got somebody in your family who would like to play as a critic, positive critic to you, when you write something, give them to read through and ask them, do you think in my writing I'm communicating information, ideas, and opinions clearly and coherently and effectively. Be honest. Don't always think they should give you yes yes you're doing. No, let them critically look through it and see if they can really find ideas that are clearly expressed in there, or opinions, or as the case might be. 24. Write text of an appropriate level of detail and of appropriate length, including where this is specified, to meet the needs of purpose and audience. I talked about the content and the quantity, the number of words. This is very important. Pieces of writing can't just go on and on. There must be an end. We can specify, can you produce a document, 1,000 words to talk about that topic or this and that. So within that, if we specify the number of words that we want to see in that piece of write-up, and the topic is this, it must be covered within that, and use a range of writing styles, a range of words, different types of sentences, communicate meaning, etc. Okay? So that you make your writing actually exciting, because if you're too monotonous, sometimes it bores the reader. You remember when you are writing something, there's an audience, and that audience must be put in a place where they find the writing exciting and interesting. So, wow, I want to read this book. I want to read this article. So that's why a range of writing styles will come into play, and functional skills is going to help you with that. I'm on what number is it? Yes, I've done number 25. Convey clear meaning and establish cohesion using organizational markers effectively. Use different language and register, e.g. persuasive techniques, supporting evidence, specific words, suited to audience and purpose. 28. Construct complex sentences consistently and accurately, using paragraphs where appropriate. Paragraphs are very essential, very, very important part of writing skills. If you can master paragraphing, you can break ideas into their components. When one idea is finishing here, you can split the next idea by a paragraph. And that's the idea, the reason why paragraphs exist. Sometimes when I'm writing, I use very short paragraphs because of the information that I convey. And it also makes it easier for people to read and follow through. But if you've got a huge chunk of a paragraph, too many ideas in one paragraph, you have lost the reader. Okay? Let's go on. That's number 20. I think that's the last point. Yes. That's the last point. Let me bring back myself on the screen. That's the last point on reading, and I just want to look at this material here. If you are watching this on the screenshot, you might probably not see the glossaries, but I'll just run through them. And I invite also people in level 1 who didn't see this part of the document to listen to level 2. So teachers on level 2, can you tell the level 1 students to download this document and also watch this video clip, because I'm going to explain some of the words in the glossaries. Yeah. Here we go. I'll proceed. The glossary. For use with this subject content, we have the words appropriate, basic information, context, formal, we have format, we have gist, common words, linking words, medium, narrative, organizational features, reading, registers, regular, sentence. We also have, let me see, short, some simple, specialist words, straightforward. And then we have, come on, style. Is that the last one? Yes, that's the last one, yeah? Okay, now these words, I'll just sample some of them. The glossary is explaining what these words, specialist words or phrases, as used inside the body of the syllabus. The word specialist here refers to those that have a specific meaning within a certain context. I gave an example of nomenclature. Specialist words, these are those that have a specific meaning within a certain context, such as words related to a specific job or work environment, a pastime or hobby, or a certain area of study. Or I'm doing I'm looking at a chromatogram. I'm doing chromatography. Oh, chromatography? Yes, in biology you can do that. Or photosynthesis? Yes, in biology. Okay, nomenclature, or in chemistry. In those contexts, so you cannot use photosynthesis in your normal day-to-day living or spoken English. Oh, I feel hungry. I want to do some photosynthesis so that I can have some energy in my body. You can't do that. You're not a plant. So they refer to specific context, okay? Straightforward describes subjects and materials that students can often meet in their work, studies, or other activities. Straightforward content is put across in a direct way with the main points especially identifiable. Usually, the sentence structures of such text consist of more than one subject or more than one independent clause, that is to say, compound sentence, and students will be familiar with the vocabulary. In other words, something that is plain, you understand, it's common. Oh, this is straightforward. I know that. Okay? So the meanings of words here in the glossary I explained. Simple, I don't want to talk about the one. It's simple. A sentence. What is a sentence? In writing, sentences are marked by using a capital letter at the beginning. You can see this, a sentence itself, it starts with a capital letter at the beginning, and a full stop or question mark or exclamation mark at the end. This sentence itself ends with a full stop. So they just give you an explanation of what this means. Okay, reading. This is decoding and establishing the meaning of written text. That's what the word reading means. This is decoding and establishing the meaning of written text. When you read something, you must decode what it means. Okay, thank you very much. So this functional skills is up and running, and I welcome you to the program. Please, when tutors signpost you to any piece of work, go and read it. When you come to the classroom, it's not enough to just base your capability to pass the exams on classroom materials. Go and do the homework. There's what we call guided learning hours, the ones that you come and in the classroom or listen to materials like this. That is guided learning hours. Then directed learning hours, the homework you're given to go and research and do your own home study. Those two together, the directed learning hours and guided learning hours, marry them together, make you complete the course and be ready to do the examination. Some candidates, they don't do their homework. That's why they fail. They perform so well during lesson times, but during examinations, they fail. Why? Because they do not do their homework. They do not do their homework. Homework is essential. Signing off, but still present with you, I'm Dr. John Luke Komona.